guten Tag, wie geht's? How are you all? Today we will start with a little bit of grammar part and learn the pronouns and also do a little bit of conjugation of the verbs. Okay, so let's start. We already know the three pronouns, namely ich, that is I, du, that is informal you, and sie, that is formal you. Today we will learn all the other pronouns. They are also known as personal pronomen. Okay, personal pronouns, personal pronomen. Okay, so let's start. We have ich, again that is I, du, that is informal you. Now for he we have er, she is sie, and it is s. So RZS, that means he, she, it. Okay, RZS. Yeah. Then wir is we all. Wir, we all. Ihr is you all. It is in the more informal sense, you all. Okay, ihr, you all. Then we have the sie, that is the formal you, sie, formal you. And again there is a z, that means they. Okay, z, that means they. Now here if you look at all of these pronouns, you will notice that the z has multiple meanings. Okay, so one z, it's she, the capital Z. If you look at the formal you, it is, the S is capital, so the Z is the formal you, and again the small z is they. Now how to identify about which z are we talking? So here comes the conjugation. But before that, just take a look at the formal z. If you remember these questions that we have done, the formal questions, wie heißen Sie, woher kommen Sie, you would notice that the S from this Z is always capital. So it is one way of knowing that we are talking about this formal Z, formal U. Okay, so this Z, the formal U is S is always capital. Okay, for the other two Z's, it depends on the verb. Okay, on the conjugation of the verb. Okay, the conjugation of the verb changes according to the pronouns. Yeah, so it is similar in English as well. So for example, zum Beispiel, in English we have I eat, he, she, it eats. Or even in Marathi we have मी खाते, तू खातोस, तू खातेस. Okay, so there are this conjugation that depends on the pronouns. Okay, similarly in German we have these conjugations. Now we will look at just three verbs today. Okay, the conjugation of three verbs, namely kommen, wohnen, lernen. Okay, we have already used these verbs in the introduction before. We have used it in sentences such as ich komme aus Indien, ich wohne in Mumbai, ich lerne Deutsch. Okay, so we have already used these verbs. Today we will see the actual grammar part that is behind this conjugation. Okay, so let's start. Now first of all the verbs in German in its infinitive form are written like this. So if you look at all these verbs, kommen, wohnen, lernen, they end with an. Okay, so these are all the verbs in its infinitive form. Yeah, even in English the infinitive form is to come, to leave, to learn. Okay, so in German the infinitive form has this an at the end. Kommen, wohnen, lernen. Okay, now when we want to conjugate any verb, we first take the root of the verb. Now what is this root of the verb? So let's take for example, zum Beispiel will take the verb kommen. Okay, so that is in its infinitive form. Now when we want to conjugate this verb, we will take the root, and for that we will just remove the an from it. So when you remove this an, whatever remains is the root of the verb, and then to this root of the verb, you will add the respective endings for the pronouns. Okay. So let's look at the conjugation. Let's look at the endings. So let's start with ish. Now we have used sentences with ish. So if you remember, it was like ich heiße, ich komme, ich wohne, ich lerne. Okay. So the common ending in all of these verbs was a. Okay. A. So here again we have ich komme. You add the a to the root of the verb. Ich komme. Do, even though we have seen the questions, the informal questions, woher kommst du, woher, wo wohnst du, yeah. So for that we have st as the ending. So du kommst, okay. For rzs it is kommt, t is at the end, kommt, okay. Wir is very simple. It is just like its infinitive form. Wir kommen. Wir kommen. Ihr, again similar to RZS. You just add t to it. Ihr kommt. Ihr kommt. And ZZ is again very simple. Similar to the infinitive form. ZZ kommen. You just add the an to it. ZZ kommen. Okay. Let's do this once again. Kommen. So ich komme, du kommst, RZS kommt, wir kommen, ihr kommt, sie kommen. Okay, klar? Let's do for the wohnen. Okay, wohnen is to live. Now again, we will take the root of the verb wohnen. So you remove the an, then whatever remains, that is the wohn, and then you keep adding the endings to it. So ich wohne, du wohnst, RZS wohnt, wir wohnen, ihr wohnt, sie wohnen. Okay, and the last verb is lernen, to learn. Lernen, ich lerne, du lernst, RZS lernt, wir lernen, ihr lernt, sie lernen. Okay, klar. So these are the conjugation, the rules of the conjugation. So here the verbs that we have seen are the regular verbs. Okay, regelmäßige Verben. Okay, so just for now remember that these are the regular verbs, and remember the rules for this conjugation. How do we add the endings to it, or which endings do we add to it? Okay, yeah, okay. So today we have learned the pronouns, pronomen, and the conjugation of the verbs. Yeah, for practice maybe you can do a conjugation of these two verbs. Spielen, spielen is to play, spielen. And the next verb is gehen. Gehen is to go. Gehen, to go. So we have here two verbs. Spielen, to play. Gehen is to go. Again, these two are the regular verbs. So you can try to do the conjugation of these two verbs. So you can write the conjugation of these verbs in the comments below. Okay. And we'll meet again in the next class with many more new topics. Till then, choose.